And you're going to put the foam roll at the base of your neck, right along the cervical spine. We're going to lay down on our back for a second. Right here. Going to come down. Oh. So now this foam roll is just like a big pillow. I'm now putting my chest in a position where I can just roll open. And I want to find almost like the entirety of that cervical curve. I'm not at the base of the neck. I'm not at the top of the neck. It's like my whole neck is just wrapped around the foam roll. I'm going to make sure I'm in the middle of my mat here. Reposition however I need to lightly. Felt good to have my hands crossed. And I'm just going to roll side to side into the posterior cervical spine. So, you've got trapezius. The upper portion of trapezius goes up along the back. Big, broad, huge muscle, right? But the top portion tapers as it goes down, or it goes up, I should say, right into the base of the skull at the occiput. The occiput is a bone at the base of the skull. And then if you roll just a little bit to the right, you're going to start to press very gently on the transverse processes through C1 and C4, which is where levator scapula, at the top of the shoulder blade, runs up and attaches right into the cervical spine at C1 to C4. And then reverse sides. So in addition to having that on both sides, at this top portion near the base of the skull, you've got splenius capitis going and inserting base of the skull. Both sides, compare the left to the right. What feels tight, what feels tense. A lot of people with chronic headaches, they'll tell me they have migraines, tension headaches. They're having a lot of challenges with their neck muscles being in spasm, just working all the time. I want to roll my head back to center, and I want to lift the foam roll just a little higher, right at the base of my skull. I'm going to roll just a little bit left to right. There's a whole group of muscles called the suboccipitals, which I think insert on C1, maybe C2, go right to the occiput, right at the base of the skull, right in there. People who have problems with their suboccipitals will get this broad referred pain up through their temple. This like pretty solid band right up through into what we think of as the sphenoid, where the bone is, right up into the temples. Now what happens if I gently lift my chin or gently tuck my chin? What do you prefer? I'm just getting you to become aware of that area. Now I'm pretty dead center, right? Now what happens if I turn my head just a little bit to the right and I do the same thing? I'm going to look up, holy moly, and I'm going to tuck the chin down. Look up. And tuck the chin down. Going to switch sides, rolling to the left, kind of splenius capitis area. And again, I'm going to look up and slowly lower the head down. I'm feeling the movement of that foam roll as I lift and then tuck my chin. If you find a sweet spot that you want to hang out on, feel free. Don't feel stuck to doing just exactly what I'm doing. I'm just walking you through as a guide. Now, I found this interesting spot. that I'm not getting a lot of referred sensation, but it just felt so dense, so tight. I'm like, hey, what's this? This is interesting right there. I'm going to use my left hand and hook it on the foam roll to be able to pull my body over to this left side and pull into that. Right there. If I want, I can pull the opposite direction by reaching over. I don't like this direction nearly as much. I want to pull towards it. Right there. Now, with the maintain of the pull, can I look up and kind of look down? Oh. I'm going to bring my head and neck back to center. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to pull the foam roller just a little bit closer to my upper back. I feel like I'm catching T1, T2 maybe, and definitely like C5 to C7, so that cervicothoracic junction of those vertebrae. And this little bit of bounce, this little bit of roll back and forth, they see me rolling, they behave in, right there. Now, do I want to turn a little bit to the right? And in my case, I brought my feet underneath so that I could stack my hips. I'm going to lift the hips gently and roll right through there. Oh yeah. Now I'm going to turn just a little bit to the left. Just massaging that area open. If I want to work on core strength, if I want to lift a leg, if I want to play with balance and twist it over, I can do any of this craziness. The main point of pressure is right in the neck. Now, if that's too much, what do? Oh, drop the hips down. Don't feel like you have to roll up and down aggressively. Now, I'm still at the base of my cervical spine, kind of C5 to C7. I feel like I'm hitting T1. I'm going to open the arms up because that felt nice. And then now I'm going to look up. Moves the foam roll down a little bit. Then I'm going to tuck my chin. Gonna lift my head and neck. Ooh. And again. Looking up. Rolling back and down. Now if I want some support, can I bring my hands behind the head? Sure. It's going to change the position a little bit of where I'm hitting on the foam roll, but it all depends on you and where you feel pressure. If I want more pressure back down, straight center, what I can do is my feet are down, I'm going to put pressure into the feet and I'm going to lift the hips. Now, the only 2 points of contact I have on the ground are at my feet and where I'm pressing into the foam roll. I can shimmy just a little bit side to side. I can start to move those vertebrae around. I'm going to open the arms out again. Now look up and tuck the chin. I like to look up a little bit. I'm going to look up about 3/4 of the way and hold that for a second. And then I'm going to gently shimmy up and down because that feels good to me. That feels intense without being painful. Now I'm going to drop my hips. I'm going to drop my arms. And I'm going to use that as a pillow to see if I can just relax those vertebrae over the foam roll. This is an area I have problems with because of that car accident I was in when I was 22. So I just continue to work on the tissue around that area. You strengthen the muscles, you lengthen the muscles, you maintain cervical mobility. You push blood through the area by exercising it and using it. And also there's just a degree of maintenance. Let's say the ligaments were overstretched. We can't do much about that. But what can we do with the soft tissue? We can work on soft tissue. And that's primarily what we're doing. If I find this spot on this left side and I go, man, I want some more right there. What do? Put the feet down, stack the body weight. I can move the hands and arms. Oh, right there. If I want to Now, if you feel like you've had enough at that base of the cervical spine, top of the upper back, and you want to rest, I'm going to lift my head and just move the foam roll a little bit higher, more towards the base of the skull, just so I can rest here for a moment. I'm going to bring this right leg and let it cross the left knee. And I'm going to start to mobilize the hips a little bit. Now, this is going to change the pressure on our foam roll. But I'm trying to open the hips here. These feel pretty open from what we did earlier, but I admit I like this side more. I'm going to use this left hand to bring this knee. Yeah, I get like a good stretch through the gluteals right there. If I want to resist, I can hold with this foam roll, the right hand. And slowly back to center. You can readjust on the foam roll if I need to. You can cross the left leg now and roll to one side or the other. Back to the right, back to the left. What do you feel? Where's the tension at? I like this twist. I'm going to grab with the right hand and pull this knee up and over towards the right shoulder. Deep stretch through the gluteals. If I want some resistance, I can hold on to the foam roll there. And slowly, I'm going to bring my legs up so I can sit. I want to see how that feels for just a second. Moving the shoulders, head and neck around. Feels very long, very spacious in a way that it didn't before. My neck feels like it's an inch or two longer than when I started. I'm going to move this guy to the side for a moment. I want to check on my cameras and see where we're at, how much time we have left. Yeah. So let's go ahead and go into Shavasana. Go ahead and make it the end of class. I'm going to lay down on my back and I'm going to walk you through the alignment through the final pose. Go ahead and move your stuff out of the way, which in my case I've already moved to the side. I'm going to lay with my head back and down on the mat. I take that little bun out because I don't want that lift. I want to lift the head and neck up and away. I want to press the base of the skull down into the mat, and as I tuck my chin, making that little double chin, I'm going to roll the shoulder blade down, roll the other shoulder blade down a couple of times. Then I'm going to use the feet to lift the lumbar spine, tailbone, tuck it down and away. Feet are just a little bit wider than hips width distance apart. The palms fall open. And slowly. I want you to breathe through your nose and just scan your body for tension. Where do you feel tightness? Restriction of movement. You can hold your focus there and breathe. If something feels overly tight, gently squeeze the area. Actually use the muscles instead of just relax them. Just for a breath cycle or two, I want you to squeeze the muscles around that area. And on the exhale, let the muscles soften, relax, unwind. The goal is to let tension go, to relax, release. Tongue is gently at the roof of the mouth, and breathe through your nose. As you begin to wake up, you could wiggle the fingers and toes. And then slowly roll onto your right side and bring yourself up. You'll turn to the front, pull the flesh away from your bottom so you can sit comfortably. Those ischial tuberosities will make contact with the floor. Pointer finger and thumb will make contact. Back of the hand rests on the knees. Long spine. You can lean forwards and backwards. Where's neutral? What feels tallest for you with the least strain to sit tall? Palms, prayer position at your chest. Big in-breath. And exhale. Squeeze your belly in. Bow forward. Mobilizing your spine. And namaste. Thank you guys again so much for class. I plan on doing these through Friday for the week. I don't plan on going anywhere. I don't think you guys are planning on going anywhere. So I will see you. If you have any questions for me, feel free to write on my Facebook business page. That way I can give you whatever information you need, additionally on YouTube. So just let me know if you have any questions. I can cover that in a little bit more detail next class. I hope everybody in your family is safe. You guys be well, and I'll see you tomorrow.